about yourself.
My name's David Hill. I'm from Worcester, Mass, which is right outside of Boston. I have to say this. I have to ask for a pass for my tire. I did not realize I was coming up here until yesterday, so I...
You're great. What's your problem? I'm not worried about it.
Well, look at all these other guys, and then you look at me.
You're great. Shut up. Never apologize.
I wish they took out the trash twice a week in my neighborhood. It's an honor to be up here. I've been in the business. I started in 2003. It was my first year. I started my team in 2006. Right now, I'm primarily focused on wholesale my owners from day one. When I got my real estate license, I received a call from a gentleman, his name was Steve Clements, and it said, "Are you interested in making money right out of the gate?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "I want you to get all the newspaper real estate sections and show up at my office on Sunday morning." So I had no idea what I was doing, but I did, and I showed up, and that was where we started. We went to the room, we just started prospecting. There was 3 of us. I just kept making call after call after call. I kept getting hung up on and getting hung up on. And it was funny, I got hung up on so much. There was a guy that actually said yes, and I started stuttering, and I didn't know what to say. And I gave the phone to Steve, and that's how we got our first appointment. And Steve closed the appointment, and and I still to this day work with some of those same for sale by owners. A couple of them were builders, and they're not doing as much now, but I'm their agent, so it's been a great source of business for us.
So let's walk through that. Let's talk about how you approach for sale by owners. Tell us how you approach it.
We use right now. We just started using Redx, and I get the leads from Redx, and we also do some expires. But we get the leads from Redx. I just call, and I really just approach it as I try to call right when they first.
You just call, or you call?
I call.
Thank you.
I call and I let them know that I do a lot of business in the area, and I'm just wondering if there's anything I can do to help. And typically, they're not really interested in anything I have to say, but I'm really just trying to make build a little rapport with them and let them know I'm out there and let them know that I can be of service. I do get into the scripts, and I will ask them, why they're selling themselves, why they decided to try to do it without a realtor. Just get an idea of where they are, and then just based on their motivation. Or I guess their motivation is going to determine if I'm actually going to go on an appointment with them or if I'm just going to send them something.
Yeah, well, no, it does. You're being a little modest here. What you're doing is you're following a model, and what you've determined is that for sale by owners rarely list on the first call.
Yes.
Which happens to line expires too. But the trick is the expired's already hired a realtor, so they've already given up the flag and said I'm hiring. The for sale by owner hasn't done that yet. And the realtor who calls up and affronts or confronts the for sale by owner with the presentations to get into the home, that is one model. There is another model that's equally successful, and it's the one I use too. And that is the model of call. You ask questions, you offer help. It's a very I want to help approach, and then you just stay in touch. You stay in touch, and you stay in touch, and you stay in touch, because that white flag is going to come up over 80% of the time. And who's going to win is the one who didn't stop contacting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I say that correctly?
Absolutely,
okay.
100%. I mean, we're there, we call, we put them into a system, and we really just follow up on every Monday. We have
when?
Every Monday.
There you go. There's the system.
We have 6 lead generation slots. They're all 2 hours, and one of them is Monday at 5 p.m. So we follow up on Monday at 5 p.m. because we want to see how the weekend went. We want to find out if there's anything we can do to help again. So it's really like Gary said, it's a system. We're there, we're consistent, and I know when the for sale by owner first comes out, you probably have 10 to 20 agents calling. But by the end, maybe there's one other realtor. So the key is really just the consistency.
There's only they may every week or every other week have a new one call.
Yes.
Because that person just got real estate and we're told to call FSBOs, so they call them for the first time. But there's only 1 or 2 8 weeks later that have called for 8 weeks.
Exactly.
Isn't that the game? That's the game I've experienced.
That's exactly the game. The game is to build rapport, get into a relationship with them, and then just keep the relationship open. And when they're ready, we're going to do either one they think about. And that's kind of simple.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so we're there, and the thing is, I know a lot of agents start calling expired or for sale by owners, and they give up. I'll call a for sale by owner, and I'll call them every Monday, and typically the conversation goes okay. Some weeks they just don't want to talk to me, and I don't take it personal. I mean, it's part of the process, it's business. So I just ask, okay, if it's all right, I'll check in with you again next week. Have a great night. I call them back the next week. They might be in the best of moods, and it's ready for me to come over. We know that the average for sale by owner is going to go 30 to 45 days. So if someone tells you they just put their sign up, it doesn't make sense to run over their house and try to push them into a listing. All you do is annoy them. So we understand that, and that's part of the system.
Exactly. Yeah, Tony, any questions on that? Because to me, for sale by owners, we can either take an approach that would look and feel a little more like Jeff's in the highly structured script approach, but with the sale by owners knowing that they're going to go a period of time and they're not going to list immediately. Consistency, staying in touch.
Expireds are a sprint, for sale by owners are a marathon.
How long do you stay with them?
As long as it takes. I've had a guy 2 years. 2 years. He took me to dinner. I took him to dinner.
Well, you experience that with expireds as well, right? In that it can be a sprint. It can be a sprint and a marathon. It can be both. Yeah, it definitely can be. Yeah.
Well, today it's turned into both of their games as a marathon.
Oh yeah.
David, what do you say to him each time? You change the script, or you call me 25 times. What do you say to me 25 times?
You know, I could talk about anything. It's really just about how your weekend went. Had you considered using a realtor yet? And sometimes it's just that simple. I don't want to waste any of your time today. Are you ready to hire me? And that sometimes that's all I ask.
Doesn't need to be. Well, you're tying it down. You're asking the right question.
Oh yeah. They know what I'm calling. I know we were talking about stalking earlier. I guess it's more like a methodical stalk.
Oh, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. All right. Anything that we haven't asked that we should tell you? We're good? All right. I'm looking on my schedule. Are we supposed to take a break right now? Or are we supposed to move to another?
Yeah, it's an hour and a half. Break.
I have no idea. I looked at my schedule and it looks incorrect to me. So I'm actually asking. We have one more? All right. You guys are going. Adios. Bye.